Alrighty guys, memory stocks are pushing up from those very zones that I mentioned to you that fear not until there, and we are seeing a really good continuation to the upside today. Do we now finally have a confirmed bottom in the memory stocks? Let's talk about all of that. We'll take a look at along the ways the chip stocks and S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100. So in this video, Micron, Sandisk, SK Hynix, Seagate, Nvidia, AMD, ARM, Intel, Marvell, Cerebras. We'll take a look at TSM and Broadcom as well. And we'll also take a look at Kospi, how it did yesterday. And we'll wrap up this video with Nasdaq 100 and S&P 500 pushing really strong. S&P 500 is already at a new all-time high. So let's jump right into it. Once I also let you know, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. So we are starting off with Micron. So what did I tell you? Let's start there. Okay, let's grab some context first. I told you fear not. And I told you right on this day of Thursday that we are finding a bottom. It's the first stage of bottom. We then had a sell-off and I said, don't worry, this is the zone. All right, let's get to the hourly interval. Look at the beauty of my zone. This is the zone. I told you, fear not until here, guys, right? I told you this ahead of time. Price was coming down and you were so worried. I said, no, don't worry, fear not until here, we are fine. Precisely right over there, we bounced back up. That was a good comeback yesterday, and today we are already seeing on Micron a push through to the upside continuation above that yellow zone. And thus, we still have to close the day though. But this is all what we want to see in a bottom formation. And we are now at maybe the third stage. Like, you may ask, how many stages are there? Guys, there are unlimited stages. I'm kidding. I mean, the more the better. And then final confirmation, right? This is already leading us towards the final confirmation that bottom is this is it. This is the bottom. All right. Well, so should you buy from here? Well, the decisions are yours, right? Whatever you do, make sure you have a risk management. So I'm here to tell you the price action, right? But if you really want to follow my trades along on the DRAM portfolio, you can have free access to my DRAM portfolio on Telegram, real-time alerts. You also get access to the spreadsheet for a full rounded picture in case you want to catch up also. Link is in the description of this video. Get free access to my DRAM portfolio as an inclusive perk with Trading Tools plus Stocks Coverage membership. So you get the bonus access to my DRAM portfolio while having other services. And you get on top of that DRAM for free. Don't miss this opportunity out. We are already super green. We were even green. We were already in profit even when price of DRAM, let me show you real quick. Price of DRAM was $8 down, but we were still in profit. You gotta start trading like institutional investors, okay? If you wanna learn all of that, wanna see all of that, join my DRAM portfolio. All right, let's get back here to Micron. So as I was saying, Micron is, yes, this is what we wanna see in the bottom. Any risk management can be done. Technically, our bias is bullish. Any risk management can be done partially either below 817 and or below 770 area, that these two zones. Partially risk management can be done, but probability bias has to be to the upside. When the play was short at 1100, I called out it's a weakness, bearish play. And when we are in the bullish strength and the bottom forming, and I have been telling you, I will call out that there is a bullish trade. I trade what the price action is doing. I don't trade hope. I don't trade luck. I don't trade blindly. I don't pull things out of the air. Okay, I tell you exactly what market is going to do, and I tell you that ahead of time. If that also doesn't make you happy, guys, come on. I just don't know what you want. Like, you are delusional then, right? Anyways, hit the like and subscribe if you like what I bring to you. This takes a lot of effort, guys. A lot of a lot of experience that what I provide you. I always provide things ahead of time. Like if you're not making money watching my videos, and you are definitely making 500 times the money by just joining my membership, you are making more money by joining the membership. So membership is free, pretty much. You gotta see the plays that we have taken over the course of weeks and months. Anyways, that point being aside, things are looking really good on Micron. Risk management areas I provided you. This is pretty much the last stage of, at this point, as long as we don't lose, nothing is guaranteed. As long as we don't lose 830 area, we technically are in the bottom confirmation, and we just want to see a close day today strong. Definitely it can still do pullbacks and all, but I just don't think right now that this thesis will be negated. As long as we are above 770, as long as we are 830, this is a little bit of a like a risk management zone. Definitely I don't want to see it lose 770. If we lose that, everything is not lost, but it's just that the momentum won't be there to the upside. We'll have to wait again. So all good so far. Things are looking good on Micron front. Let's get to Sandisk. Sandisk has its earnings tomorrow. Okay, will be a big day. No one knows what's going to happen through the earnings, so but be prepared. Okay, accordingly risk manage based on your risk tolerance. Sandisk also, I gave you this zone down there, the green zone. I told you, fear not, guys, fear not. Bounced right straight back up from there and also regained above resistance. We are out and above through it. Thus that initial second stage of bottom confirmation has confirmed itself as the final stage above 1300. Sandisk, as long as we stay above 1300 and close above it today and earnings hold above it, we are technically looking just fine. And this is something I have been already telling you, that Sandisk is already approaching its full bottom at this point. I don't think there's much downside left. It can still do pullbacks. I'll still be fine holding through those pullbacks. It will be fine. I'm not too worried on Sandisk over here. Definitely earnings can do whatever they want to do, but this thing is looking good. Definitely no one knows what's going to happen through the earnings. Price might crash as well. Okay, but the point is that as for the price action right now, everything is looking to the upside. We do have a bottom most likely here. If any pullback happens, it's just going to mostly try to stabilize it here. I don't think there is much downside left on Sandisk. All right, let's get to SK Hynix, and we'll get to SK. And SK Hynix also bounced off of that very zone that I gave you. You can't make this up, guys, right? See, exactly from the zone that I gave you. Now, as I'm talking about that, let's get to SK Hynix on the Korean side. Now, Kospi is one of the leading areas where I have been talking about the zones, and we have gotten there. I identified bottom zones, and we gotten there. We have bounced up from there, and things are looking good. I told you, yes, it can do pullbacks. SK Hynix, it did those pullbacks, and those pullbacks are already getting bought up. You can see right over there. And it can still do more pullbacks, but the point is that I don't think SK Hynix has much room to the downside left. We already hit our bottom zones. I told you when we were bearish, and I'm telling you when the bottom is forming. Definitely nothing is guaranteed. I'm placing the probabilities in place based on the price action, but I'm giving you where the higher probabilities are of the trade, and other side is to be done the risk management. But I just don't think there's much downside left on SK Hynix. All right, so things are looking good there. Kospi also just did the pullback yesterday. Classic pullback, getting bought up at the bottom formation. Loving it, loving it. And so is Samsung, loving it, right? So coming back over here on the US side of SK Hynix, that's all good. You know, it's already bouncing, dancing around up already, found a bounce at our zone, all good. I just don't think how SK Hynix has much more downside left. It can surely do some pullbacks along the ways, but new bottoms or new lows are just not going to come, in my opinion. Held the zone really nicely. Now we just want to keep pushing through up. So all good there. Let's take a look at Seagate. Seagate is also, it's, as I said, it's gonna mostly, even if it doesn't go up, don't expect much downside on this thing. It's just gonna go sideways, chop around, rest, take a breather a little bit. But I just don't think that it will go to your new lows. It can go there, but likelihood right now are very low to go to new low. That will be only become a possibility if we start to lose $800. Nvidia. So Nvidia continuing in its comeback strength. This first multi-leg rebound is turning into overall above 204 in the overall bullish side. And as we hold above 204, technically everything remains bullish for us in the direction overall structure basis. So that's pretty much what you are watching. I'm still not trading Nvidia. It's, but the point is that if you are doing it 204 above, everything is bullish on Nvidia. Let's get to AMD. AMD, look, it has its earnings today. Let the earnings happen at this time. I'm not having any position on AMD. It is already going above 500 and thus getting back into the strength zone. At this point, it all comes down to the earnings, guys. Let the earnings happen. Either we'll see a gap down or a gap up, and it can stay wherever it is. The point is that if we stay above 500 after earnings, your bias, everything needs to remain bullish. Only if we lose 500 with a dramatic gap down fashion, then only for coming days there might be weakness. But if AMD does the gap down, that would only be there if some forward-looking guidance is affected, because it may also affect how other memory stocks and all they are doing. So it's very important how AMD does today. So keep an eye on this. Yeah. ARM, okay, so ARM at this point is trying to turn around. So there was a possibility that it can start to turn around as if we can start to get above 267. All right, so it's just almost doing that today. Now this price action also shows me that this could be the bottom formation on this here. This is what you really want to see. Today's candle tells us that this is most likely the bottom formation here. It also came at a good zone, good area previously. So see how it closes. Let the AMD's earnings happen. But as if ARM wants to continue up, this is most likely the bottom on this thing, on ARM also. So you can expect some sideways or upside. I think downside is already, and I told you this before, downside is already getting like possibility is completed already there. All right, Intel is also making a comeback, and this candle has a room to eventually push it higher. Let the AMD's earning happen first. We want to see a confirmation from AMD's earning, especially Intel, as it relates to that. There's a part of overlapping business style between these two. Now, yes, so as it can regain above above 100, Intel will start to gain strength. $100 is the zone to watch. As it gets above it, it's good for the upside. Marvel, I already told you yesterday and day before as well that most likely this is going to form a bottom here, and I told you the downside is limited and it's just not much left there, and most likely we are forming a bottom, and today's candle confirms that this is most likely the bottom. You can have a 200, we got to stay above 200. That's the important part. Even if we come down, I don't think we have much room left to the downside. It's mostly going to try to stabilize here and try to push through up. Cerebrus 160 above, still technically in an upside place. The Broadcom, real quick, let's take a look at that. So it's finally doing a breakout now. So it's finally out of its choppiness here. So as it stays above 406, you can, if you want to play, technically it opens up to the upside from here. Okay, so at least before AMD's earnings, as I said, let the AMD's earnings happen, but it is trying to push through out of choppiness above 405, 406 for sure. Let's take a look at TSM as well here real quick. And TSM is, I don't think there is much downside left on this thing. As I previously told you, it's mostly going to stabilize here and pretty much what it's doing. So that's where that is. All right, let's take a look at NASDAQ 100, guys. So NASDAQ 100 finally from this multi-day strength gained its full strength above 699, 700, breaking out of the trend line and importantly getting the zone above. So this thing is all good there. So let me actually change that to zone now. So yes, so NASDAQ 100 is just going fine, is above that 700 and is just bullish at this point, right? That near-term weakness and multi-day strength was already building up, but it's now full on. Overall, everything above 700 is bullish continuation. S&P 500 was already strong. I told you about it yesterday also, and today's making a new high. Oops. And at this point, I think it's just gonna make a new highs. It's just gonna continue up. So this 2 months of consolidation is done and a new leg up. Quite surprising actually to look at it. I always go back to look at, and this was already in the multi-day strength from last 2 days. I mentioned about it. If not here, then definitely to my members. But I always like to see this, look at it. Like this is just an unstoppable, like an upside continuation. Never seen things like, I mean, not never seen things like this, but what I'm saying is that like there were times when for 20 years almost market pretty much just did a, well, 13 years, let's put it that way, just a catch up. And then in just next 10 or something years, like it's an exponential run. It shows you how much, well, what I mean to say is that is, yeah, you can look at it as your money just not being valued anymore, or there's just so much money floating around. Yes, economies are growing, but what's the relative value of an economy to the dollar value? You know, if a dollar is very strong, these prices may look lower, but the value will still be strong. So you don't, so it's not that market value is a representation of dollar value. So because dollar can still remain very strong and limited, and value may still be strong. That's what the value of the number is behind any bill or dollar, right? So there's not a correlation as if a market is super up, so is the productivity of a economy or a, you know, currency value. They are different things. So my point being, this just like paper thin, not paper thin liquidity, but it's like how paper thin the value is of the currency as well at this point. Anyways, 2020 really is where actually this all started. Then that's where the problem is. And then after that, system just feels like it's just falling apart day after day everywhere, actually, not just one place or the other, everywhere. All right, guys, well, that's all. And with that, I'll see you in my next videos. Don't forget to check out my DRAM portfolio. Don't miss this opportunity, guys. All right, this is you gotta take a leap, guys. You gotta take a leap. Okay, you can't just sit back and think that things will happen for you. No, you gotta take action. Be a doer. All right, with that, see you in the next videos. Take care. Bye.